Did Chelsea get lucky? Third London derby, 7 goals scored, 1 conceded, 1 draw, and 2 3-pointers. Hello and welcome to my channel, Your Sports Huddle, with me, Puneet. Let's dissect this game. It was a horrible first half. Chelsea did not look like the team that we had seen in the Club World Cup. It was the exact same team that played against Fulham, with Sanchez in goal, Malo Gusto, Trevor Chalobah, Tosin and Cucurella as the back four, Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo in midfield, Estevao, Joao Pedro and Neto as attackers, and Liam Delap as the lone number 9. Within the first 20 minutes, Liam Delap pulled up his hamstring, and apparently now he's out for another 6 to 8 weeks. So we got to wait and see, what will happen to him. 6 hours. Just 6 hours it took for Chelsea to send Nico Jackson on loan to Bayern Munich, and now we have our lone striker injured. How unlucky can it get? And when somebody is out for another 6 to 8 weeks, you can imagine Enzo Maresca's frustration. Last 24 to 48 hours have been terrible for Chelsea. Xavi Simons, who was supposed to come and join his team, even had his medical done at Spurs and was still waiting for Chelsea to put a bid in. But that bid never came. We've lost a creative midfielder we've been vying for the last 9 weeks. Now, with Liam Delap's injury and Joao Pedro being the lone striker, even though you prefer him to play as a second striker, have to be there for the next, 4 to 6 games or even more, depending as to how quickly Liam Delap recovers from his hamstring. Coming back to today's game, the first half was atrocious to say the least. It was dreadful. Once again, Fulham came up with the same plan as we have seen in the last 2 games. A mid-block, 3-4 midfielders. They're not giving any room to Chelsea's line-breaking centre-backs to create any space for them. There was an incident where Josh King scored his first goal for Fulham, but it got ruled out. I thought the VAR did make a mistake there. Fulham did deserve that goal, and it was an unforeseen error, I believe, from the VAR once again, ruining the game. How can a game goes on for 45 minutes of each half and 8 minutes of extra time? It's getting really ridiculous now. I thought it was a lucky escape for Chelsea, and right at the death moment of the first half, Joao Pedro scored a banger once again with his head. Joao Pedro is soon becoming as one of those important players for Chelsea who are going to take this team forward, and his performance every single week has been top-notch. Caicedo once again is a superhuman. Man is unbelievable. Every now and then a tackle is required. Caicedo is right up there. What a player he has become. Even when he's on a yellow card, he does not bother. He's always there for those interceptions, for those tackles, and making sure that Chelsea do not concede. The back line today was looking tremendous, with Trevor Chalobah leading the line, looking absolutely top-notch. Tosin, again, with his body frame, wasn't that good, especially when Josh King scored that ruled-out goal. But Trevor Chalobah was amazing. Malo Gusto has a very, very good game once again. Cucurella, once again, lethal on the left-hand side. This guy has got the potential to be one of the top players on the left-hand side. He's already one of the top 3 in the world, but now with his constant performances, he looks really, really good. First half, Enzo had a stinker. Enzo Fernandez was looking out of sorts. I thought he also had a little buster with the fitness coach once the first half was done with. Second half, he came back. I thought maybe, Andre Santos will come back and, he'll take his position. But then Enzo played pretty much the entirety of the game. And in second half, Chelsea had a penalty. I thought, again, Joao Pedro will have a brace today, but he didn't take the penalty. It was Enzo Fernandez again. He scored. Wasn't a great penalty, was it? Again, he got lucky that, the ball went in and the goalkeeper wasn't up to the mark. So now what? I mean, we have won the game by 2-0. The last 15 to 20 minutes, Chelsea did. The Fulham, they pretty much brought in, Reece James and Andre Santos to block the mid-block and gave them absolutely no room. And Fulham did try, but when you are 2-0 down against Chelsea and with that defensive unit, especially in the last 15-20 minutes, it's not going to happen. Everybody knows that, with the crowd also behind Chelsea. We have won this game. Now there's an international break for 2 weeks, and when we come back, obviously there are some big games coming in. We only have 48 hours left in the transfer window. Having sold so many players, yes, we did bring in few as well, but most of them are raw at the minute. So we need somebody of real ilk to come and elevate this team. I had so much hopes for Xavi Simons to come in, but that did not happen. Now what? I mean, Maresca in a post-match interview did say that he's looking for a striker. But is Chelsea going to give him one? Or are there actually any strikers available in the market now that we are only left with 48 hours? I mean, they are looking at that, Barcelona kid. I don't know whether he comes through and how good a player he is. Just to add that Chelsea have also brought in a loanee from Brighton, some random kid. I've not heard much of him. I don't know whether he's good enough or not, but when you lose out on Xavi Simons and you brought a 20-year-old from Brighton who actually doesn't play, in the first team for Brighton, he was going on loan to Leeds, and all of a sudden Chelsea hijacked that. So let's wait and see, how the next 24 to 48 hours pan out. Who knows what will happen, but Chelsea definitely need to improve and make sure that, a couple of signings might come through. I don't know whether they're looking now at as a defender, as an attacker. With Liam Delaf out for 6 to 8 weeks, Chelsea 100% needs some attacker, absolutely. But can they get it? That's another question. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, I mean, that's it for today. I was seething yesterday when we lost out on Xavi Simons. But today, we've won. We've got 3 points. No matter how they came, end of the day, those 3 points matter. And that rustiness would hopefully be over by the time we are back after the international break. So fingers crossed, by then Chelsea would have got a better player to play in the forward line, or for that matter, Garnacho, who is already arrived. He was sitting in the bench today with Willian. Maybe we might need to turn to him, but again, he hasn't had any game in the last 2.5 months, so we'll again have to see how rusty he is.